If you guys thought Insta360 was done dropping bombs when they released their newest Insta360 camera, the X5, then you would be incredibly wrong. Not only did these guys crush the 360 camera game, but apparently they also crushed the accessory game as well. So in today's video, I'm going to run you guys through my top 5 accessories that I use to turn my X5 into absolute beast mode, and sorry not sorry, I'm saving my favorite one for last. So guys, before we get into the video, Insta360 is actually running a super cool bundle that's very specific to you guys, but it's only for a limited time. So when you get the motorcycle bundle of the X5, you're getting 5% off, you're getting a free lens replacement kit, which if you're putting it in good spots, you'll need, trust me, we'll talk about it later, and you're actually getting their mic air totally for free as a bonus. That means you can literally buy the X5, this bundle, and you can get out and motovlog because you'll have everything you need right from the get-go. It's super sick. Links in the description down below. You guys definitely need to check it out. Now, since I mentioned 2 of them, let's get to all the accessories I like using with my X5. You guys ever been scrolling through Instagram or TikTok and you see the person whose camera's obviously mounted on the front of their motorcycle, but you can hear them talking, so you get really excited, think that's a fantastic angle, and you go do the same thing, only for your audio to sound like this. Well, the reason their audio sounds like that and yours doesn't is because they probably have something like this. This is Insta360's new mic air. It is a small Bluetooth microphone that allows the audio from wherever this thing is to go directly into your Insta360 X5 or whatever Insta360 camera you want. All you have to do is very easily pair this with your 360 camera. You can place this inside of your helmet, and suddenly this is what your audio sounds like. And now with the microphone connected, you guys can actually hear me and my motorcycle. It is literally that simple. Also, this puts the audio directly on your video file for the 360. There are ways to record your audio separately and you have to sync them later, but that is a huge pain. Nobody has time for doing that. This is really the only real efficient way to get this done. But the audio sounds really good from what I can tell. So guys, the mic air comes in at around $70, and honestly, this is one of the best Bluetooth devices for audio to pair with your Insta360 X5. Obviously, using an Insta360 product with a microphone and the camera is going to make them connect a lot better, and I have had great success getting it connected to different 360 cameras that I have. It also comes with this little pouch with a few accessories, the charger and stuff like that. This is a phenomenal purchase if you're wanting to get that footage where you can talk to your 360 camera. Not only do I love being able to have my helmet audio inside my 360 footage, but I also love the shape of this because it's one of the best microphones for going inside of a helmet and not touching your mouth or anything like that because of how low profile it is. For as cheap as this thing is and as good as the audio is, this needs to be a pickup for any of you guys looking to talk to the camera. This is a must-have. Also inside of this little accessory pouch has a receiver so you can plug it into the bottom of your phone and get good audio into your phone as well. So if you guys are making content online, this is kind of a must-have. So guys, the next accessory is literally revolutionary for 360 cameras, so no shocker, Insta360 did it, but it is what is inside of this little case right here, and these are Insta360 ND filters. Now, if you guys are not big into cameras, you might not even know what ND filters are, so before I explain to you guys what they are and why they are so cool, I'm just gonna show you the difference in what they do. So this is a shot from a regular Insta360 X5. Now this shot is the exact same everything except I changed the settings so that I could have the ND filters on. You guys see if you can tell a difference. So can you guys tell a difference in the footage? One is kind of just standard footage that we would expect to see online, and the other one has this really nice motion blur on the objects that are quickly moving past us. It makes you look so much faster than the regular footage. And the way that's happening is what we're doing inside the camera is we're changing the settings to be manual, and specifically the shutter speed. Shutter speed is what really controls how much motion blur moving objects you're going to have in your frame, but when you lock your settings into the correct settings, it ends up making the footage really overblown out and really bright. So what we have to do is put ND filters on in order to make the footage look like it's supposed to. You guys can see in this shot that if I don't have an ND filter on the camera and all my settings are locked, then everything is blown out and almost white. You can't really see anything. But the second I put an ND filter on, now all the exposure looks right, everything looks good, and we're gonna have that really cool motion blur. Okay, so let's talk settings real fast, just in case you guys want to duplicate what I'm showing you guys. When I'm shooting with my X5, I'm always shooting in 30 frames a second. That's just what I like shooting in. And then to get your correct shutter speed, all you have to do is double your frame rate. So if I'm shooting in 30 frames a second, I double that. I need to have a shutter speed of 1/60. That's going to give me the most natural motion blur in my footage, and that means the ND filter that I need is going to be dependent on the scenarios that I have. Now, these ND filters are going to be $70 per set, and there's 3 different types. So in order to save you guys some money, I'm going to explain in what scenario each ND filter would be, so that way you guys can make sure to get the right one. First, ND16 is going to be kind of best used for the day I have today. It's very cloudy, it's really not that bright outside, so I don't need the ND filter to do that much, so ND16 is going to be just fine. Next up, we have ND32, which is the ND filter I personally use the most, and that's going to be for that sunny day with light clouds. This is going to handle the vast majority of your situations while you're out riding motorcycles. Next up, and finally, we have the strongest ND filter, and that is ND64. The ND64 are for those days where there is absolutely no clouds and the sun is just beaming down on you. Now, here's a note when it comes to picking NDs. If you get too strong of an ND, that's okay, because your camera can adjust the ISO to brighten your image up if it's too dark. But your camera cannot adjust if it doesn't have enough ND. So if I were you guys, I wouldn't necessarily go with the ND16. I would either go with the ND32 or the ND64. And guys, the third accessory is this little multi-tool right here. Now, this is the Smart Preview remote, and Insta360's had a version of this for a while, but this one is absolutely game-changing. So, as you guys can see on the screen, I'm able to see the screen that's on my Insta360 camera. This is going to be fantastic. So if I have the camera mounted way off the back of my motorcycle, now I can actually use this to see what it sees, and I can start recording, but it does not end there. So if I hit this little record button, the 360 camera will start recording. But here's the thing. This thing will now transmit the audio that I'm recording all the way to the 360 camera, giving it high quality wireless audio. The really neat part about that is because of how big this unit is, it is actually recording the audio internally and can record up to 32-bit float audio. And if you don't know what that means, let me show you. Now, for you non-audio geeks, what 32-bit float is basically the highest quality audio you can possibly have, and it makes it so whatever you do and wherever you put the microphone, it always sounds good. I have an absolutely disgustingly loud MT10. If I were dumb, I would put a microphone right here and it would sound like crap. But because it's 32-bit float, it won't. Let me show you. Watch. Microphone. For motorcycling, 32-bit float is perfect because exhaust on motorcycles, especially the really nice ones, get so freaking loud. And with 32-bit float, you'll never mess the audio up. Unlike me, sitting right beside an exhaust, eating fumes. Okay, I stop. So guys, if you're trying to decide if the Smart Preview remote or the Mic Air are better for you, I would recommend people grab the Mic Air if you only want to be able to get your audio from inside of your helmet into your camera. If you're wanting all those preview capabilities, the higher quality audio and all that kind of stuff, that's where I would go with the preview remote. So this is more for that somebody that has the camera like really mounted off the side of their motorcycle that's harder to get to while you're riding. This thing's going to be fantastic, especially if you record in loop mode so that the camera's always recording. And whenever you hit that record button, that's only the time that it saves the thing. So if you're out riding for a long time, that is a situation where the preview remote would come in clutch. I don't think I would personally want to mount this remote inside of my helmet because I figure my face or something might touch the screen and change some settings. So I wouldn't necessarily recommend this for a inside the helmet audio source. And guys, for the fourth accessory, let's talk about the one thing that everybody has said in their X5 review to ad nauseum. You guys have all heard it. It's the fact that the Insta360 X5 has replaceable lenses.
Replaceable lenses.
Replaceable lenses.
Replaceable lenses.
User replaceable lenses.
Replacement lens kit.
Before replaceable lenses were a thing, if literally anything happened to this lens, if you're riding and a rock came up and scratched the lens, if you're standing here and you're just not careful and you drop your camera on the ground, or I don't know, maybe you're out testing the X5 and you literally karate kick it off the back of your motorcycle, the lens goes straight to a rock and scratches it. Before this, if that happened, you had two options. You could either deal with this little blurry piece of footage in this expensive camera you just bought, or you sell the camera and have to get another one, or you just don't have a 360 camera. But now you have a replaceable lens kit, which, by the way, only costs $30, which I think is a very fair price, and it allows me to put this camera in more dramatic situations where I don't worry so much if something happens to the lens. I'm going to give you guys a little secret. The more dramatic you put this camera, the better your footage is going to get 100% of the time. I have been proven time and time again, anytime I put this camera in a position where I'm like, is that going to be okay? The sketchier it is, the better the shot I get. And now, since I don't have to worry if the lens gets scratched, I'll just grab a $30 replacement kit and I'm good to go right back on the road. Also, I was a little worried when I saw the lens replacement kits. I was like, dude, I'm not really an electronics technical type of guy. When I opened up that lens replacement kit, it literally comes with every single thing you need. You don't need a single tool. Everything is inside the kit, and it took me 2 minutes, and I was filming the whole thing to replace the lens on my camera because this is the one that was scratched, and now I can get pristine footage, and if something happens, I just grab another lens replacement kit. This is the only 360 camera that does that. I know other cameras you can send them in to get them fixed, but bro, have you guys ever sent something in to a company to get it fixed? You're out of a camera for days, if not weeks, while they're fixing your stuff. Or I order a lens replacement kit, get it here in a couple days or 1 day if you got Amazon, and then you're back going the literal next day. So I absolutely love the lens replacement kits, and it really changes how I use the Insta360 X5. That's not like marketing BS, it is authentic. I will put this thing in way sketchier places because I'm just not worried about it. Now, my friends, I told you I would save my favorite thing for last. Now, I know a lot of you guys are looking at this and being like, Chase, that looks like an Insta360 invisible selfie stick that we've seen multiple times. It's not, my friends. This little baby is a throw pod. So guys, before I go too much into the throw pod, we need to do a history lesson because I don't think you realize how badly I wanted this. So guys, my job really is to come up with cool ideas about motorcycles and come out here and talk to you guys about them. And most of the time, nay, every time, I have a book bag full of gear. Now, my goal is to make that book bag as light as possible and only bring with me what I need. So, about 3 or 4 years ago, I had what I currently thought was a genius idea. Insta360 makes a carbon fiber small little invisible selfie stick. It's fantastic. It's essentially a small version of a monopod. What I did, in my geniusness, I took a monopod base, right? I screwed in the invisible selfie stick in here, and I thought to myself, oh my God, I'm a genius. I've never made something so creative in my life. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I use this on episode after episode, video after video. I took it to press launches because I was so confident in it. The base is heavy, so it makes it pretty stable, and this is about as high as I need a small camera to go. I'm talking a 360 camera, an action camera, something like that. It doesn't have to be crazy heavy here. I ran this thing for a year thinking I was the hottest stuff on the planet. But the problem is, as you guys can tell, that base is pretty big, so it takes up a lot of space. It's stable and good weighted, but it's kind of bulky. Now, after a year of running what I called the hot shit setup, I was perusing Amazon like we all do. I mean, why not? And I found a small little tripod, not a very tiny one, kind of a medium-sized one. But as you guys can see, it gets very thin. And what I did was I added a small little weight on the top of it. That way it would be even heavier. I added another invisible selfie stick from Insta360. And now I had an even lower key monopod that would work even well. I want you guys to see this. Look at this. Remember, our goal is stability and smallness. Look how tiny this goes. Super tiny. This, guys, I thought game was over when I got to this point. I was like, bro, I can pack this into a bag. I can't even feel it, and it works just as good as this guy. Granted, the legs aren't as wide, so technically it's not as stable, but you know what? It did the job for over a year. Now, fast forward in time and welcome. We're in present day, and we have the throw pod, which basically takes my other iterations and shits all over them. So, as you guys can probably see from there, not only is the throw pod the smallest of all of these setups when it is fully retracted, it's also the lightest, and it doesn't have some heavy tripod piece. This is the most amazing mobile monopod for a 360 camera or an action camera that they make. That's before you even factor in the cool little drop factor. God, that doesn't get old. So not only is this thing the lightest, but it's actually also the most stable. If you guys look at all of the legs of all of these units that I've created, the throw pod has the widest base, which is going to make it the most stable of all of them. So not only is it the lightest, it's also the most stable, and it's the easiest to pack. This thing puts my units to absolute shame. This goes with me on every single shoot. Now look, I can hear you guys talking to yourself at home, and you're saying, Chase, of course, you're a professional content creator. You do this for a job. No duh, you would want a throw pod. Why would I want a throw pod? I'm just a dude at home making content when I like to. My guy, I'm gonna give you guys a little secret. If you want to get big on social media, if you want to differentiate yourself, you just gotta do stuff differently. So here's what I'm talking about. How many of you guys have seen somebody on Instagram or TikTok that is using an Insta360 360 product, and it is mounted in a few select locations, and where are they always mounted? I'll wait. On the motorcycle. Guys, we spend thousands of dollars and hours of our time making our bikes as cool as we possibly can. All of that work so that you can literally put a 360 camera on the front of your bike so that people can see your gas tank. Imagine you're out there making your content, you're going to a bike night, you're hanging out, right? You have the throw pod with you. You get the little quick release mount, and you can go from the front of your motorcycle to the throw pod. You throw this down. Now you have a 360 camera getting all types of shots of your motorcycle while people are coming up being like, bro, how'd you do that? Where did you get that exhaust? What's it sound like? This thing is so simple. And the one thing that I'm slowly realizing in this life is if you make it simple, you'll actually use it. I have spent 15 years overcomplicating my entire process. I have boiled it all down to the only things I need, and those things that I need are simple to use because it makes me use them. That is why I love this product so much. I promise you, if you get it, you will end up using it because, look, guy, selfie stick, right? It is still, at the end of the day, a selfie stick that you can use when you walk around. You can still get cool shots of your motorcycle Now you can just do stuff like that. I hope you guys understand how much I love this theropod. It's my absolute favorite. Sorry guys, sorry. I just had the realization that a lot of you guys might be wondering, Chase loves the theropod so much. I'll just get that instead of the Insta360 invisible selfie stick. So I'll use this on the motorcycle and then I'll pop it off. Bad news. Because the bottom has the whole thing about it, this little area is a push pin. It does not have a 1/4-20 thread. You will not be able to use this as an invisible selfie stick. So, I'm sorry. I still maintain that this thing's amazing though. You heard? And my friends, those are all the accessories I find myself using the most with my X5. You guys let me know in the comments which was your favorite accessory that I showed you guys, and which one are you gonna go grab right now. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure to hit that like button. If you like motorcycle content, we make a ton of it here, so make sure to subscribe. We'll have links for all of this stuff in the description down below, guys. I'm Chaseontwowheels. You guys go out there and ride safe and film your rides. This stuff is too fun to not share. And I'll see you on the next one. Later.